My personal laptop is the Surface laptop from Microsoft. This here is the first generation and I love it. But a couple of weeks back, Asus approached me and asked if I'd like to take a look at their latest business laptop. This here is the ExpertBook B9450, which Asus claims is the world's lightest 14-inch business laptop. So I've had it for a couple of weeks and it's got me thinking, should I get this to replace this? To start off, this is the lightest laptop I've ever held in my hand. It weighs a mere 870 grams for a 14-inch form factor. In comparison, my Surface laptop, which is pretty light, honestly, comes in at 1.3 kilograms. This is almost 400 grams lighter than that, and the Surface laptop to me was already really light. This is light to the point where if you were to put it in your bag, you might just forget about it. Really, you have to hold it to actually experience how light it is. It's just that light. Now, to achieve this kind of weight, Asus did not use any aluminum nor any form of plastic. In fact, its entire chassis is made of a magnesium lithium alloy. Honestly, it feels really good to the touch while being pretty rigid and durable with almost zero flex. Of course, being a business-oriented laptop, it's also certified for military standard 810G. So even if you are slightly rough with it, I would say you'll be fine. The display itself is what I would describe as par for the course. It's got everything right in my books: a full HD resolution, good color reproduction, great viewing angles, a matte finish, and having relatively thin bezels all around. It's basically great for doing anything from basic documents to watching your favorite YouTube videos and more. One thing to note is that the top bezel is slightly thicker, and that's to make way for the webcam, which does support Windows facial recognition for unlocking the laptop. It also comes in with a built-in privacy filter like most business laptops do. There are also a total of 4 microphones located across the top of the bezel. I wouldn't say it's the best out there, but it's certainly enough for business meetings and such. As for the keyboard, similar to the display, I would say it's par for the course, which means it's good enough. The keys have a good amount of travel and it does feel tactile. I hardly made any mistakes while typing on it. But, and this is a huge but, something that I really and absolutely hate on this keyboard, and that's the position of the power button. The power button is situated right on the top right corner and it's right beside backspace and the delete key, which I have to mention that the delete key and the power button is the exact same size. It's no surprise that sometimes when I'm typing, the laptop will suddenly go to sleep, all because I tap on the power button and not backspace or delete. In my opinion, the power button should be relocated to the side, like that of the HP Dragonfly, or at the very least, like the Surface laptop. Have it before the delete key rather than after. But then again, if you use the laptop long enough, you'll get used to it, I guess. As for the trackpad, it's nice and wide and it feels great. You also get a digital numpad which can activate via the toggle on the corner. Now, this laptop does also feature a fingerprint sensor, which means you get a total of 3 ways to unlock this laptop: through Windows facial recognition, the fingerprint, or your plain old PIN and password. Now on the lid, you will see this small light bar and it's actually for Alexa. Now, I'm in Singapore and we don't really use Alexa that much here, and neither do I have anything Alexa at home. So I couldn't really test it. But for those of you who frequently use Alexa and you have much more Alexa connected devices at home, this will just function just like any other Alexa would. Speakers are powered by Harman Kardon and they sound decent, especially given its form factor. A little bit of bass, but definitely more clear on the highs and vocals. Overall, a decent sounding laptop. Now, despite being a thin and light, the ExpertBook does actually feature quite a number of ports. On the right, you get your standard 3.5mm headphone jack, a USB 3.1 Gen 2 port, and your Kensington lock slot. On the left, you get 2 Thunderbolt 3 ports via USB-C, which you can use for charging, along with full-size HDMI 2.0 and a micro HDMI port, which is actually used to connect an RJ45 LAN adapter. So in a nutshell, despite being lighter and just as compact as my Surface laptop, it has more than twice the amount of ports. And with Thunderbolt 3, that means you can also plug in a variety of accessories like an external graphics card should you want to do so. Talking about specs, the unit that I have right here comes with an Intel Core i7-10510U, 16GB of RAM, 1TB of NVMe SSD storage, and a 2-cell 33Wh battery. In terms of Cinebench R20, the Core i7-10510U that's in here is decent but not the best of the bunch. as it's only a 4-core 8-threads chip. But in fact, it's also clocked much lower compared to the exact same chip that's found in the ZenBook UX534, and that's most likely due to the thinner form factor of the ExpertBook. The NVMe SSD is technically not too bad with extremely good sequential read and write speeds, but the random 4K, which is far more important, is severely lacking. So when you're transferring multiple different files, do know that it won't be as fast. But should you choose to do so, you can actually upgrade the storage up to 2TB NVMe SSD. For the battery, the B9450 comes with two options, a 2-cell 33Wh battery or 4-cell 66Wh battery. Do note, however, that it only weighs 870 grams with the 33Wh battery. The weight will be much more closer to about a kilogram should you choose the 66Wh version. For my testing, I got around 7 hours of actual real use on the 33Wh. I was constantly on Wi-Fi, brightness at 50%, speakers at 50%, and I was doing a mixture of documents, YouTube, general browsing, and even 90 minutes of a video webcam call using Google Meet. My opinion, however, if you are looking at this laptop, opt for the 66Wh version. You will practically almost double your battery life, and for the cost of just a little bit of weight, I mean still weighs lighter than my Surface laptop, I'll take it. Overall, I really enjoyed my time with the ExpertBook B9450 from Asus. And like I mentioned, it got me thinking, should I get this to replace this? My answer is still no, but wait, there are a few reasons. The first is that I do not really need a powerful thin and light per se. If I need to do any kind of heavy work or any kind of serious task, I have my desktop. And yes, my desktop is not portable, of course. But yeah, if I need to do any kind of serious work, I would be at my desktop in the first place. The second reason is a bit subjective. I guess it's personal preference, but I find that I do not enjoy using the ExpertBook as much as the Surface laptop. And I'm not too sure why. Perhaps it's a mixture of maybe the material used, the overall screen, the keyboard and stuff, but I'm not saying that this is a bad laptop. This is a really good laptop. It's well built, it's got a keyboard, it's got a screen, it's got ports, more so than my Surface laptop, but it's just quote-unquote boring. I'm not too sure. It's just not fun to use this compared to my Surface laptop. And that brings me to my third point, and I guess that's why I felt that this was not as fun, is the typing experience. The typing experience on the Surface laptop is far better compared to the ExpertBook. The ExpertBook is good. The keys themselves are great, tactile and everything except the power button. The power button is no-go. But it just can't match up with the typing experience on the Surface laptop, especially with the Alcantara. Alcantara, man, I can't give up on the Alcantara. This is just great. It's honestly the best typing experience. What the heck is this? Oh, no battery? Anyways, yeah, that's why I still prefer the Surface laptop. But if you're looking for a laptop that can do pretty much any kind of everyday task while being pretty professional looking and minimalistic, and being extremely light to the point where you might forget it's even in your bag, perhaps you can take a look at this. This might be an interesting choice if you're always on the go. Anyways, those are my thoughts on the B9450. If you have any questions, drop us a comment down below, subscribe to us if you haven't, follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Till the next one. See ya.